All right, good morning. Time now is 7:07. We are live on the 10 News app on pretty much all streaming platforms, including WSLS.com. We'll give things just about a minute so that people can log in and start watching. Reason for this APPCAST is a Weather Authority alert day that we've issued as of this morning. Kind of a last-minute alert day. Didn't want to just issue it for heat because it gets hot in the summer, even though today's heat's going to be fairly intense. But once we saw the storm chance kind of increasing for late this afternoon and this evening, that is why we issued the Weather Authority alert day. This will probably run through the 11 p.m. newscast today, but we do expect the worst of any kind of scattered storms to be developing late afternoon into the evening. I'm thinking after about 3 p.m. or so. Just got the push notification to the 10 News app, so I'm going to go ahead and get this show on the road. So appreciate you guys tuning in here so far this morning at 7:08. So here's the main headlines. This Weather Authority alert day is kind of a combination of the severe storm potential and the heat for this afternoon and this evening. The heat is widespread. The storms are more scattered, and we're going to walk you through that here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, what we can see is the storms that have so far developed out toward the west, and you can kind of see especially that area near Lexington and Cincinnati. That is going to continue to move off toward the north and east, so it avoids us for the time being. It's going to be plenty of dry time today. We do need the rain, but there is going to be plenty of dry time before we start to see some of these storms cranking up. Severe weather threat immediately. You see that over Missouri, Arkansas, parts of northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Kansas. So it avoids us for the time being. It's again mainly late afternoon into the evening that we'll monitor this level 1 and level 2 threat for severe weather. That level 2 is in the yellow, and when I saw that this morning, that's what made me think, we should probably issue an alert day. That's usually when we do issue them. And so this is going to be for your afternoon and evening storms. I think they're scattered, hence the yellow level 2. But any kind of storm that does develop in this kind of heat will have the potential to produce localized wind damage in addition to a lot of lightning. As for hail, I think that threat is going to be north of I-64. Near and to the north of Covington, Lexington, areas like that. So you can kind of see how we map things out in terms of threats. Localized flood threat is low just because of how dry a lot of us have been here recently. And as far as isolated tornadoes, I think that threat is low as well. That threat is actually going to be a little bit farther to the north for us. So that is why it's important to have our app on hand. Our weather app has gone through some upgrades, and I'm not just telling you this. I actually really like how things came together, how things are looking on the weather app. So definitely give that a try if you have yet to do so. Let me go ahead and grab a more updated run of future tracker here. Looks like that one did not update, so give me just a second. Also working with a new weather graphics system, so that has been kind of fun too to get to learn that. But in the meantime, here is noon today, and you notice more sunshine than anything. We'll see some high level clouds drifting in from those storms that I was just showing you guys, but it's going to be hot already by lunchtime. Going to be probably upper 80s, lower 90s already. And there we are by 3 p.m. or so, and you start to see how sporadic storms are going to be, with the worst I still think being north of I-64. But those of us with Pulaski, Montgomery, Craig, Giles, Bland, Allegheny, Bath, Botetourt, Rockbridge, Highland, Nelson, Roanoke, Bedford counties, I think you stand a slightly better chance of storms late afternoon into the evening than others farther to the east. There's 8 p.m. for you, and you still see some activity to the west that'll essentially jump the Blue Ridge Parkway. Your chance for storms is up until about midnight along and east of US 29. You draw a line from Lynchburg to about Danville. There to the east is where you see that chance continuing. Isolated rumbles of thunder into the overnight, but there's 8 a.m. Still some maybe light rain showers around south of the Roanoke Valley as our front passes through. And as we turn warmer tomorrow, Showers and storms are going to be more hit and miss near into the south of the Roanoke Valley. Time frame for that looks to be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. before some overall drier air settles in. So again, we've mentioned the chance for some severe thunderstorms, and that's warranted, right? But we don't want to lose sight that we actually do need some rain. So here's just for the Roanoke Valley to give you an example that we are 3.62 inches below average for the year 2024. June 2024, we're about 1.5 inches below average. Lynchburg, the situation's even more dire. At the airport, they've only seen 4/400ths of an inch of rain. So far, the driest June on record in the Hill City. So again, we do need some rain. I don't think everybody sees it as storms are scattered, but where they do form, they'll be pretty strong in the heat of the day today. And you can see there's already plenty of sunshine. You've got some high-level clouds adding a little bit of a milky, hazy look to the sky. Wytheville's at 62, Blacksburg 67, Martinsville 63, but Roanoke already at 76. Goes to show kind of that urban heat island that's going on in the Star City. Then as we go throughout the day today, you're definitely going to feel the mugginess more than you maybe have over the past 2 days. We were treated to a break from the humidity, so now we got to talk about the heat index, and I'm going to show you why we talk about it. It's not just some made-up number. It's coming up here in just a few seconds, but you can see, especially in Southside, where you have more dry time today, that your heat index is going to get into the triple digits, if not to like 101, 102. No matter where you are, if you got to be working outside today in the heat of the day, you know what I'm about to tell you. Take breaks, seek shade, drink water, electrolytes, things like that. Hopefully get a good night of sleep before these really hot days. But yeah, especially for those red shaded counties from the Roanoke Valley eastward is where you see the heat index peaking between about 96 and 102. So very hot out there today. Farther west you go into the higher elevations, you're not going to see it be quite as high, but still hot and humid enough. Here's why we talk about the heat index. You know, you get some folks that'll comment like that we're just making up this number to hype the weather, and that's not at all the case. This is a legit thing because of how our bodies respond to that tandem of heat and humidity. When it's dry out, think about when you walk out of the shower, especially on like a cold winter day. That air is dry, right? You cool down very quickly because the beads of water are evaporating off of your skin. Evaporation is a cooling process. So when the air is dry outside and you're sweating, that helps to cool you down nice and quickly. It's kind of our defense mechanism against the heat. However, when it's more humid outside, it takes longer for that cooling process to happen because when it's humid, evaporation doesn't happen quite as quickly, right? That's why we encourage you to stay hydrated on days like today. So let me go ahead and show you the extended forecast. And then for those of you just tuning in here at about 7:15, we'll go back and talk about the reasoning behind our Weather Authority alert day and the timing for any showers and storms. Today's the hottest of the next 7. Highs well into the 90s. Tomorrow and Friday still hot. It's late June. High temps in the mid to upper 80s, but it won't be quite as hot as today. This weekend, 90 to 92, and hey, at least some chances for scattered showers and storms, right? We'll take that, even if it's on the weekend. The ground getting crunchy, getting brown out there, so we definitely need some rain. We're going to get an update on the drought monitor first thing tomorrow morning, but overall, pretty typical afternoon temperatures. Looks like 88 to 92 in the Roanoke Valley. So for those of you just joining, thank you for doing so. Live streaming on the 10 News app, WSLS.com, YouTube, and on Roku TV right now. So here's what we're tracking as far as today's Weather Authority alert day. It's this combination of not just the heat, but the chance for some stronger thunderstorms. And that chance for stronger storms is what really made me issue this alert day early this morning. The heat is going to be more intense today than maybe what it was yesterday. But once I saw that potential for storms, that's what made me think, yeah, we got to issue an alert day, and I'll show you why here in just a second. Most severe weather right now, that's in Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Storms in middle and west Tennessee. You also notice some storms on the Ohio-Kentucky border. Those are moving to the north and east. But let's see here. I'm going to hop into this analysis mode, see if I can turn on our interaction here. And what I'll show you guys is that we have sort of this boundary right about here. And that's where storms are going to ride along later in the day today. So they'll mostly be west of the Blue Ridge Parkway and north of Interstate 81. That's mostly what we're looking at in terms of storm potential for the day today. And that's what the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has noticed. That's why they issued this level 2 or slight risk of severe weather. That means scattered severe thunderstorms will be possible, especially late afternoon into the evening. So what kind of stuff are we expecting? When it's this hot out, you expect more lightning than in maybe your more typical garden variety storms. There's also going to be the potential for a couple storms to produce some localized wind damage. It's not to say that everybody's going to see that. Everybody would like some rain, but scattered storms are just that, scattered. So thankfully, the localized flood threat looks to be very low because of how dry we've been. Chance for tornadoes is low as well. So here's lunchtime. We're still dry. It's gonna take time for storms to get their act together. After about 2 or 3 p.m., they'll start out as very hit and miss. This is what radar may look like at 4 p.m. And you notice that boundary I was talking about farther to the north, initiating more storms toward northern Virginia and the Maryland border. Let's go on in time, and you notice by 6, 7, 8 p.m. more scattered storms in the aforementioned areas near and to the west of the Parkway. But it's after 8 or 9 p.m. that we start to see some storms getting going east of the Parkway. So think Franklin, Bedford, Pittsylvania, Henry, Campbell counties around Lynchburg, Danville, and so on and so forth. After midnight, our storm potential looks to be pretty isolated heading into tomorrow. So whenever we are not on the air, let me go ahead and find this frame for you to show. Our app has gone through some changes, and I like them. I got to be honest with you. I think it's a really sharp look. There's more data for you guys to go over, not just the hourly forecast and the daily forecast, but a more interactive radar for you to choose. You can look at our latest weather article, which is on there right now, our latest video forecast, which is on there right now, and you can select warnings for up to 16 locations. So if it's not here, if it's family in another state that you're worried about, you can have those warnings turned on. So kind of some cool features that have rolled out with the new and improved weather app. All right, I think I've talked your ear off enough for now. Time is about 7:19. Got a live update on the Today Show coming up at 7:26. But in the meantime, stay weather aware, stay cool today, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Take care.